around D-Day, MK flew 60 operational sorties, was damaged by enemy fire on 3 occasions and suffered 3 wheels-up landings. Preserved the last Hurricane built, Hawk has purchased the aircraft back from the Air Ministry and kept it in storage at Langley. In 1950, PZ-865 was entered in the King's Cup Air Race by Her Royal Highness Princess Margaret and flown by Group Captain Peter Townsend, where it achieved 2nd place. An absolutely staggering number.
David John is known to most as DJ or Gibbo. He was born in Southport and started his flight career in the Royal Navy in 1996, flying the Sea King in the support helicopter role. As this is DJ's 2nd year with the Tutor display, he is operating at a base height of 300 feet. This is 200 feet lower than his previous season. DJ now regains his airspeed and pulls up into another quarter clover. As he goes over the top, he achieves 1,300 feet. DJ rolls 90 degrees and whilst pointing straight up before completing a stall turn at almost 0 airspeed. Keen enthusiasts amongst you may notice this is the only 2023 RAF display you ever see a stall turn performed. DJ is now serving in the Royal Air Force and when not displayed. And he's also been a qualified flying instructor on the Hawk T Mark II and the Tucano, where he was the Tucano display pilot in 2010. As he brings the team round to the left, the smoke comes on for the 8-arrow present. He rolls them out. Keep your eye on the team for a dynamic shape change. As Red 7-8 perform a rollback and change the shape from 8-arrow into Vixen. Those aeroplanes at Red 1 is extremely difficult. And now we've formed this second of our space theme shapes. We went from Apollo, from the Apollo space missions, into Eagle, from the Eagle lunar landing craft. As the smoke comes on for the Eagle present. Team rolls to the left on the right hand side, uppermost on the outside is Red 4, that's flight of the Signet presents. He turns hard to the right. He's looking in the distance for Enid, and you can see them in the distance in an inverted V as Red 8 flies the Goose. Red 1 gathers the rest of Enid. The red and the blue come on as he bends them around to the left. Underneath the aircraft you may be able to see a small pod that looks like a fuel tank, however that is actually the smoke pod. That smoke pod is capable of producing 5 Smoked in blue is Red 7, Flight Lieutenant Stu Roberts. Second year on the team. He was Red 2 last year and he flew the Typhoon with 11 and 12 squadron high.
Company as Royce coming in now from the left hand side, bringing all that height into speed and energy. A wonderful example of a Mark 90 photo reconnaissance Spitfire. This one representing the pinnacle of the Spitfire's development in terms of speed and altitude capability, with a top speed of 446 miles an hour and a ceiling of 42,000 feet. Almost double the power from the Mark. At the end of the war, it remained on duty in Germany through till March 1946, when it came back and was put in storage like so many aircraft, but luckily not sent to scrap, because in 1950 it joined several other Mark 19 Spitfires to undertake a conversion. The quantity of 3, it retired into ceremonial and display duties, and performing the bulk of what was then the Royal Air Force Historic Device, the forerunner of today's Battle of Britain Memorial Site. Again, it is incredible range, in excess of 2,000 miles, thanks to a massive fuel capacity of 1,000 litres. Could carry another 800 under the wings in drop tanks as well. Speeds and altitudes not dissimilar to the Mark 19 Spitfire, around 440 miles an hour, with a service ceiling of just a little under 42,000 feet, but able to achieve 500 miles an hour as a max diving speed.
I still put it in my mouth.
This one rolled off the Mustang as a perfect fit. Its global appeal and celebrating a historic and ongoing relationship between Rolls-Royce and the United States Air Force.
I'm going to do everything I can.
It's actually on a leasehold arrangement. But just wonderful. Again, a topside view there. Peppers just taking a quick peek down at you. So here we are, give them a welcome wave. You've got plenty of time to see you on this approach. The Navy wings in their Toronto formation. As we did once or twice, I believe, with Wildcat helicopters off the decks of one of our carriers. The aircraft coming around now to be going in to break their formation. And here it goes, a good photographic opportunity. Very different indeed, two completely different aircraft. Really good to see.
So there's Naval Air Commando Squadron operational helicopter pilot, and there's both a frontline and second line qualified helicopter instructor. Built for the Royal Navy, based on that Sond and Row concept, the Scout AH-1, which was a light utility helicopter. When landing in rough seas, as you can imagine, when your zone to land is going up and down, you really need to make sure you can get it stuck to the deck. The Wasp out of service, certainly frontline service in the late 1980s.
To a little bit of what we call a rearwards transition before you give, or gives you a little nod. So there's the transition going, got a little bit of stick back, keeping the tail move straight, and nod down to you. He's got a face full of people on the beach, so do give him a wave there. And that's him just giving his salute to you to say thanks very much for watching, and he'll soon move out of the way for the Swordfish. Power, so it's a pretty meaty bit of engine there. It's got a hand-cranked inertia starter, making it quite a handful to get off the ground, but able to loiter for around 4 hours. Now, interestingly enough, it's got a crew of 3. Up front today driving is Glenn Allison, well-known Royal Navy pilot, spent many years with the Heritage Flight. Behind him in the second place is Adam Watson, and then there's a third place, often where they might hold a flag. You will remember some of their displays many years back, where the telegraphist communicator would sit. From in slightly higher position there, just giving it a bit of extra speed. Can actually achieve 200 knots in a dive, but generally cruising around 90 to 100 knots, depending on the load, of course, that it's carrying. This particular example is a Ferry Swordfish Mark I, built by Black, but it was pleasant to fly, and you can see very manoeuvrable. Not too many detracting remarks are being made about it, and pilots are very happy to fly it. But at those speeds, the enemy guns actually found it quite difficult to track it, because it was such a slow target as opposed to being a fast one. As with all naval aircraft that we talked about, of course, it's got to be folded up to get back into a ship's hangar. This was the case with this one. The undercarriage, very strong, robust. Of course, because of the very firm arrivals that all...
A great photo opportunity, so please get your cameras ready. And it's my absolute pleasure to introduce the Royal Air Force 2023 Chinook display team. The aircraft begins to brake left after that initial pedal turn. To track that statement, this morning he looked very svelte. He's clearly been doing a few sit-ups. So Jim's now bringing the aircraft nose up to 55 degrees before using the cycling to push forward 55 degrees nose down. Jim dives the aircraft back down towards the display hard deck of 100 feet. And he's setting up to push the aircraft to its limit for a second time. As he initiates the climb, you can hear the 2 Chinook engines popping up a big chunk of their 10,000 shaft horsepower. Did indeed. We've encouraged him to keep the number for the local truck driving school in his phone book, just in case. They're now running into the centre of the crowd from the right, and Jim is entirely dependent on JJ to pass her through this manoeuvre. Let's join them in the cockpit.
Now. 20, 30, 45. Now. Right, 20, 30, 40 degrees. 45 degrees nose down, running through 500 feet. 70 knots, 400 feet. 300, 100 knots, 200.
Along the beachfront's getting a little taste of that delicious blade flap sound as the aircraft moves down. So you may see a little bit of a downwish. The aircraft's phenomenal downwish can sometimes reach 65 knots. It's worth noting that all of our display activity is conducted around normal duties and operational commitments.
Of external munitions and internal loads, including paratroopers or stretchers, very impressively can actually loiter in the sky for more than 3 hours if needed.
Which is
Developed by North American Aviation Rockwell, first flown in July 1965. As George said, that dirty pass referring to the landing gear being down, and take a close look at that. It's been specifically designed for rough landings. The aircraft itself requiring no ground equipment, so it can even land on good old-fashioned roads.
And then as soon as released, out he goes.
Designed in such a great way, really, to demonstrate the capabilities of this beautiful, slightly ugly aircraft.
And just found another target off to our left-hand side there, just putting in a strafing run once again, all clear, and pulling away to a safe height. It's a hover fly or a Harrier to the mid to late 1940s when Curtis Pitts designed specifically this light aerobatic biplane for competitions, and it's been winning them all the time since its first flight in 1944. Dominated world aerobatic competitions in the 60s and 70s. Back on itself there before great height as well before that, so it's brought up in aviation. Slick rolling it on the way up, pushing it up now, and here we are, good demonstration of how just letting the aircraft hover before and then letting it drop. Tumbling all the way down. So, from the left-hand side, coming in, fast and slow, Matthew Brighting in the phenomenal Typhoon. Side of this impressive Delta wing as well, just to see the heart. Effortlessly cruising around in this jet, very comfortable office up front. The pilot not experiencing half the, not even remotely half the noise. Putting it through a half Cuban there. momentary turn into a very high